already.
Yes, we're all recording. And it is
Already recording.
It is 7 o'clock, John, and we do have a quorum, so you're welcome to start the meeting whenever you like.
Is everybody on the call that's expected to be, John?
As far as I know, I did not hear from anyone that they would not be here.
Okay, well, fair enough. We can begin. I'll call to order the March 29th, 2021 meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission of Lafayette. First on our agenda is approval of the minutes from our February 22nd meeting.
John, you need to record.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Darn it.
I'll start
This
over.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
I'll call to order the March 29th, 2021 Historic Preservation Commission meeting. First on our agenda is approval of the minutes from our February 22nd meeting. If you all know, John had sent out revised meeting minutes, so if everyone has had a chance to look at those, if there are no comments or corrections.
Actually, John, the revised minutes were from October of 26th of 2020.
Are we voting on both sets of minutes tonight?
Well, I would like to, and then I'll get confirmation whether we can officially do the one since it wasn't on the agenda.
Okay,
But
that's fine. Well, let's
certainly approve the minutes from last month.
John,
Okay.
you can add to the agenda like you just did. It's fine.
Okay, all right, good, thank you. But so I think you need to do it separately, John. One for
that
the
sounds good.
February 22nd, and then also we need a roll call vote, remember.
Okay. So regarding the October revised minutes, do I have a motion to hear those?
Why were the minutes revised? I probably already knew this, but I forget. Someone remind me.
Because when I was preparing my annual report, I go back and look at the old minutes and I look at our agendas to make sure I'm capturing all of the COAs and all of the business that we took care of. And I noticed that I was one COA short and I couldn't figure it out. And I finally went back and found out that on the minutes from October 26th, we inadvertently forgot to write the minutes for the COA for 20 North 3rd Street, which is the county office building entry area where we did the.
Oh.
So it was just and Michelle and I both vividly remember going over the minutes. So we think somehow it must have just gotten accidentally and we didn't realize it.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Do I have a motion to hear?
You sure do. You have a motion for the amended minutes as communicated?
Thanks, Kevin. Does anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Kurt will second.
Thanks, Shauna, for seconding. All right, when I call your name, say yes or no on approval of the minutes from the October 26th meeting. Sean?
Sean votes yes.
Glenn?
Glenn votes yes.
Julie?
Julie votes yes.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yes.
Shauna?
I vote yes.
Patty?
Yes from Patty.
And Amy? Is Amy with us?
I don't know that she is. No, I don't believe so.
Okay, moving on. Kurt?
Kurt votes yes.
Great, thanks. All right, motion carries. All right, moving on to the February 22nd, 2021 meeting minutes. If there are no corrections or additions, do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Thanks, Kevin. Second.
Kurt will second.
Thanks, Kurt. All right, when I call your name, please say yes or no. Sean?
Sean votes yes.
Glenn?
Glenn votes yes.
Julie?
Julie votes yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Shauna?
I vote yes.
Patty?
Yes from Patty.
And Kurt?
Kurt votes yes.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Motion passes for the minutes. And if somebody notices that Amy jumps on, let me know because I can't see on my phone that who's on the call easily.
We'll let you
All
know.
right. Thanks. And next on the agenda is new business. The Public Relations and Education Committee, did they meet?
No, they did not.
Okay. And the District Committee, they did meet, Shauna?
We did meet. And we have 2 properties recommended for approval for local historic districts. The first one being 409 Perrin Avenue.
And Shauna, do you want me to run through anything about that?
Sure.
So we have in the packet, the petition, the legal description, and then the boundary map that I'm showing now, as well as photos of the house and property. This is, where did I write it down? It's an Italianate home that was built in 1876 for the original structure, and then an addition was added in 1912. We believe that was probably that this section here, this addition, but I don't know that for a fact, but I'm guessing that. And then it was listed as outstanding. So, and the property owners submitted their petition voluntarily. So we appreciate that. Sean has been very good about reaching out to folks and encouraging them to designate their properties, and many have done so, as you know.
Yes, thank you, Sean. Dan, are you with us tonight?
No, Dan could not be here tonight either. So he also shared with me that he believes that this definitely has, quite a bit of the original historic fabric in place, and it's definitely an outstanding specimen, and he believes that it is definitely worthy of recommendation as a local historic district.
Yes, yes. I definitely agree. Does anybody from the commission have anything else to say or to add or questions to ask? Okay, and the applicants are not with us, right?
I don't see them, right? Unless they have joined, I haven't noticed. So if the applicant is on, please let me know. I do see there is a caller. Is that Kurt? That might be Kurt. Yeah.
Well, I'm here.
Yes, that's Kurt, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't believe it.
Okay, very good. All right. Having heard nothing from the rest of the commission, is anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second the
Thanks,
motion.
Sean. Great, thanks, Julie. All right, when I call your name, please signify how you vote. Sean?
Sean votes yes.
Glenn?
Glenn votes yes.
Julie?
Julie votes yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Shauna?
I vote yes.
Patty?
I'm a yes too, John.
Great. And Kurt?
Yes.
Great. And I also vote yes. And if I did not vote yes on the minutes for October and February, I vote yes. I think sometimes I forget to call my own name. So I approve both those sets of minutes and this motion. All right, the motion carries then. All right, Shauna, what's the next one about? Where's the next location?
I believe it's 634 Perrin Avenue, also within the Perrin neighborhood. And we recommended this be approved for a local historic district as well.
Right, and so again, I'm scrolling through the legal description, the boundary map, images. This is a gable front style architecture home, and Kurt again said, although it appears that there's siding on the house, he's guessing that it's likely the original siding, clapboard siding, is underneath it, and so that shouldn't be a reason not to establish this as a local district. And the windows and a lot of the other features appear to still be original. So he believes that this is worthy of designation as a local district as well.
Mhm, mhm.
And John, I'll add that the owners are currently renovating the property and they wanted to work with us as they renovate that property.
Terrific.
Great, thanks, John. Is there anything from the rest of the commission? Any questions or comments?
What did Dan have to say? Was it contributing or what was the?
Yeah, that's what I just shared, that he said that there were,
I didn't hear some.
although the siding is on there, he believes there's probably the original siding underneath and the windows appear to be original.
I heard that. Yeah. Okay.
Those were Dan's comments. Sorry.
Okay. Gotcha.
Great, thanks. All right, do I have a motion from anybody for this local historic district of 634 Perrin?
Also
I'll
moved.
motion.
I don't know. I don't know who that was, but I saw Shauna, so I'll take that as the motion. How about a second?
I'll second it. Glenn?
Thanks, Glenn. All right, when I call your name, please signify yes or no how you vote. Sean?
Sean votes yes.
Glenn?
Glenn votes yes.
Julie?
Julie votes yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Shauna?
I vote yes.
Patty?
I vote yes, John.
And Kurt?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Glad to have those two more included in our local districts. Next
Thank
on the
you.
agenda is COA committee. And did the COA committee meet, Sean?
Yes, this is Kurt. Yes, we did on March 24th, and reviewed one application for 33 McGrath Avenue, demolition of garage only.
And I will tell you that the property owner was willing to be here tonight. We had told him at the COA committee that he did not need to attend. But I have his cell phone number right here if anybody has any questions, and I told him if they did, I would be happy to call. But he would appreciate the commission's support of the garage. As you can tell, it's in very bad shape.
Mhm. Is 33 McGrath the address of the house, or does the garage have a separate address?
No, it's the house and garage, that little house and garage right here.
McGrath Avenue is not an avenue that many of us are familiar with. It's a
Right.
very short, tiny stub street. And I just wanted to make sure that I understood okay, right.
Yeah, there's South, there's McGrath, and there's the property. In fact, it doesn't even really, well, I guess 29 McGrath touches McGrath, but 33 doesn't even touch McGrath.
Great. Are there any comments from Dan to mention about this, or anything else, John, you want to add?
Kurt, do you want to share Dan's comments about that?
Well, yeah, if I can remember him here, I could go to the email, but I believe his comments were, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, that if you look through the pictures here, this is in pretty bad shape, and it's really going to cost a lot more to try to rehab this than take it down and build something new, if that's what they wanted to do. There are no contributing historic fabric except for maybe the windows. The owner agreed at COA that he would attempt to get the windows out of there, but that may be a little dangerous too. So he will attempt it, but if it gets out of hand, then he will not do it just because of life safety issues. If you could scroll down, John, to the south side elevation. The part that's being demoed is just the wood frame part on top of that retaining wall. And what the owner wants to do is just provide a gravel parking lot there for a couple vehicles. So the retaining wall will remain, The lean-to thing that you see there is also coming down. It looks like it's just supported by concrete blocks stacked on top of each other, but there may be some other issues. But that's going as well. And then if you scroll down to, I think, the last photo where you see the roof's got a small hole in it. With that in taking all of that into consideration, the COA committee voted to recommend approval of the demolition to the full commission.
Was there any one event that caused this garage to look this way, or is this just something that happened over time? It looks like a big collapse of snow.
I don't know. This is a brand new owner, so this did not happen on this owner's watch.
Okay, got you.
I believe, and I could be wrong, that a tree fell on it some years ago and it has just been kind of slowly, but I don't know for 100% fact.
I would say that's
Okay.
kind of what it looks like. That would be my guess, but again, I do not know. So
It's certainly beyond being salvageable. Is that the case?
yeah, that's why you can see that in that one of the latter images here. You can see the big hole in the roof and then the 3 windows. Those are the 3 windows that are in question, and it could be very dangerous going inside this building. So he's going to attempt to salvage them from the outside, but not get injured. So we said that's fair enough. We agree with that. So
Great. All right. Well, thank you, Kurt. That's great. Any other questions or comments from the rest of the commission?
John, do you need a motion or is it already, do we have it on the table?
Unless there's any discussion, then I'm ready for a motion.
So moved.
Thanks. Any seconds?
I'll second. It's Shauna.
Thanks, Shauna. All right. When I call your name, please state how you vote. Sean? Sean?
Sorry, I had trouble with the microphone. Sean votes yes.
Thanks. Glenn?
And Glenn votes yes.
Julie? Julie?
Julie votes yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Shauna?
I vote yes.
Patty?
Yes.
And Kurt?
yes.
I also vote yes. Great. All right, motion passes. The next item on the agenda is the COA committee. And, oh, I'm sorry, the miscellaneous items. John?
Right. So as you all recall, except for John, because he was not at that meeting, we discussed this, what I described then would be a resolution. And so you have before you the resolution to amend the resolution that gives the commission the authority to grant the staff the authority to approve certain COAs, like fabric on awnings and signs and handrails and chimneys if they're on the back or side of a house and they're not and barely those kinds of things. So we're requesting that the commission give the staff, which includes Dennis, Dan Kaiser, myself, to approve requests for a new thing that's going to be happening in the city, which is called parklets or streeteries. And a streetery is an eatery on the street, which is how they came up with that word. And these would only be in the parking lanes of public street. They only have a parking space or 2, perhaps. And Dennis, if you want to jump in, I don't know if you want to share some more information about this. I'm happy to keep going. You let me know.
Keep going, John. You're doing good.
Okay. So The intent of this, of course, is to provide opportunities for parklets, which are outdoor kind of gathering or seating areas, or these streeteries, outdoor dining areas that would be public space. And so this is in the process of going through the approval for being an additional chapter in our city code. So there, it will go before the city council for approval. Once that happens, then this would go through there's I think a licensing fee for those who want to pursue this. I think it's only $25 or something. Is that right, Dennis? Do you recall? I don't remember.
It's a minimal amount, probably 25, yeah.
And then that initiates the process to the city engineer's office. And then the city engineer's office will review from a safety standpoint and go as well as making sure that they abide by all of the standards that I also attach to this, which are the standards that they've developed. And then the Parking Commission will also review these, and the Historic Preservation Commission will review those that are pertinent to the local historic districts. So, our hope is that this would be approved, that you would give the staff the authority to approve these. We think that if we are trying to be friendly to our downtown businesses and try to be responsive for something like this where they only have a limited time when this can be operable anyway, we want to try to be as nimble and flexible as we can with those. And given the impacts that the last year has had with COVID, we want to do what we can to be supportive and of these business requests. It also adds a great deal to the vibrancy of the downtown. If you've ever been in other communities where they do these, they're interesting. They create a unique space, perhaps intermittently throughout downtown or wherever they might be installed. There are lots of requirements for them from a safety standpoint and from an ADA standpoint. They have to be flush with the curb. I'm hopeful you all read through a lot of the details. Sight lines are another thing that they address pretty thoroughly in this. They address seating, landscaping, signs, lighting. All of those things are addressed in this standard packet that you receive. And again, the only thing we're asking is for you all, the commission, to give staff the authority to review and approve these versus bringing them up to the Historic Preservation Commission on a monthly basis. We'd like to be able to respond to them more quickly than on a monthly basis. Dennis, feel free to add more.
Well, I'll jump in here, John. This is Kurt. These are seasonal. They'll be removed in the winter.
Correct.
So if for the first season or whatever season it is, after staff approval, that we see some problem with this, I would say that we get another look at it for the next season. So these should be reviewed once a year by the staff.
That's correct, Kurt. They would have to get a permit every year, starting with the engineering office, so they would be reviewed each season. Good. That's very good, I think, as far as this resolution is concerned.
Good.
Great.
Well, I appreciate you guys doing this. We need to be able to do it at the speed of business, and there's already a couple of layers in there. So I'm totally on board. You guys have the city's best interest at heart, so I'm all for it.
Cool, thank you. Is there anybody else in the commission who has any comments or questions? Yeah, I would just add, we're not really out of the woods yet with COVID, so this will be a nice bit of relief for all merchants downtown, hopefully. Not only that, but like John said, this is key to livening up our streetscape. Good for a healthy downtown. All right, when I say your name, please signify how you vote, right? We're doing a vote on this resolution, John?
Yeah, I don't know that we have a motion though yet, do we?
So moved.
Thanks,
Okay.
Kevin. Second? Thanks, Shauna. All right. Shauna or Sean, how do you vote?
Sean votes yes.
Glenn, how do you vote?
Glenn votes yes.
And Julie?
Julie votes yes.
And Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Shauna?
I vote yes.
And Patty?
Yes from Patty.
And Kurt, how do you vote?
Yes. Kurt votes yes.
And thanks, Kurt, and I also vote yes, so motion passes.
Terrific, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
So next on our agenda is adjournment, and our next meeting is
No,
what
no,
day in
yeah,
April?
I have the director's report, John. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did I miss it on the agenda?
We're still under staff report, so no, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Good. Well, I sent this to you this afternoon because I literally just did it the other day. So this is my 2020 annual data report that I do. I try to do at some point this, first few months, first quarter or so of the year, to share with all of you how much we accomplished the previous year. And as you can see, and I color coded it this year to make it a little easier to follow, this kind of a light orangish red lists the 13 COAs that were approved at our commission meetings last year. The light blue are the sign applications. There were 5 of them that the staff approved, and then when I do those, I do try to run them by you at least intermittently to let you know that they've been approved. We did approve 1 handrail at Duncan Hall that was done by the staff as well. And then we had, thanks to Sean, 11 new local historic districts last year. 2 of these, the last 2, actually didn't get approved until 2021 by the council, but they were approved or recommended approval by the commission, so I included them here in 2020. So that's a lot of work for a year, especially during a time when we missed a couple of meetings. We didn't have agenda items a couple of months, and we were dealing with COVID, and we did all of this online. So thank you all for that.
Well, and John, I want to really thank the homeowners and property owners and organizations in town that have really been supporting the commission and city in this effort.
Yes, likewise. Thank you, Sean. But I think a lot of them wouldn't have even known about it if you hadn't reached out. So thank you again. So that's my report. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer any.
Well, John, I love this compilation. It looks awesome. Thank you so much for doing such a good job at keeping track of our progress.
Yeah, and it works because we found that one thing that we missed on the minutes too. So
absolutely, I think it's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Kudos. Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else from anybody else? And is there any public comment? I should ask that, I believe.
I received
no
comments via email.
Okay. Well,
John?
in our next meeting, yes, Kevin?
I thought you were going to ask for adjournment. So
I was just going to ask when our next meeting was, so everyone was on this. We're regularly April
26th.
All right. Sounds good.
Hey, John, is that
Yes.
meeting going to be in person?
I believe so at this point. I know we said that last month too, but we could play month by month. But we're hoping that month will be face to face, and if so, we will be in city council chambers, and we will, appropriately separate you so that we maintain the social distance requirements. Even if it's not required at that point, I think it would still be a good idea for us to do.
Right.
Still appreciate if folks would wear masks, just for my own, whether it's mandatory or not at that point. I would sure like that. But.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we'll all await to hear from you, John, probably a week before, at least before the meeting, so we know what's actually going on. It's hard to predict anything, but I hope to see everyone soon.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you all.
Great. All
Thank
right.
you.
Do I have that motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thanks, Glenn. How about a second?
You got a second?
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Oh, wait. You want to call?
Roll call.
Do I need to do a roll call for this?
I don't
I
know.
shall. Sean, how would you like to adjourn?
Sean would like to adjourn.
Glenn,
Yes.
how do you vote?
Glenn votes yes.
And Julie?
Julie votes yes.
Kevin?
I'll vote yes. I feel like I should say to my chambers, adjourn my chambers or something. Like to adjourn.
Thank you, Kevin. Shauna
I vote yes.
and Patty?
Yes, from Patty.
And you, Kurt?
Yes.
Wonderful, and I vote yes as well.